So, what on earth do you do for money when you're stuck in the middle of a lawsuit? It is such a stressful situation, and it can drag on for months, sometimes even years. Today, we're going to break down a financial tool that's designed to give you some breathing room right when you need it the most.
Does this sound familiar? You've got a really solid legal case, but the wheels of justice, well, they turn pretty slowly. Meanwhile, your actual life and all your expenses are moving at full speed. This is the reality for so many people. And that, right there, is the heart of the problem. An injury might keep you out of work, but your rent is still due on the 1st. Your medical treatments have copays. The financial pressure is very real, and it builds up fast, often pushing people into making some really tough decisions.
So, let's first dive into what this financial squeeze really looks like. It's more than just being a little tight on cash. It's about the impossible choices it forces you to make.
This pressure creates some truly difficult situations. People are literally forced to choose between, say, getting the medical care they need and paying their mortgage. And even worse, that financial desperation can push them to accept a lowball settlement offer, just to get some cash in hand, which can end up costing them a fortune in the long run. But what if you didn't have to make those choices? This brings us to a potential solution, a lawsuit cash advance. You can think of it like a financial bridge that helps get you from the day you file your case to the day you get a successful settlement, all without that constant financial worry.
So, what is this thing exactly? Well, for starters, it is not a traditional loan. It's an advance on the money you're expecting to win from your case. A funding company gives you a piece of your potential settlement right now when you need it. You'll also hear it called pre-settlement funding.
And this isn't for fun money. It's for the essentials, the things that keep your life running, keeping a roof over your head, food on the table, and making sure you can continue your medical care. It's all about providing the breathing room to let your attorney build the strongest case possible, instead of feeling rushed to just settle for anything.
Okay, this brings us to the single most important concept to get your head around. A lawsuit cash advance is fundamentally different from a bank loan, and really understanding this difference is key.
This chart just lays it out perfectly. A traditional loan is all about you, your credit score, your job, your ability to make those monthly payments. But a lawsuit advance, it's all about your case, how strong it is, and its likelihood of success. Notice there are no monthly payments, and here's the big one, that third row, you only have to repay it if you actually win.
The technical term for this is non-recourse. Now that sounds a little complicated, but the idea is actually super simple and powerful. It just means the funding company's only way of getting repaid is through your settlement. They have no recourse to come after your personal assets, not your house, not your car, nothing. The advance is only secured by the lawsuit itself.
So let me just say that again, because this is the absolute game changer. If your lawyer doesn't win a settlement or a verdict for you, you owe nothing. Zero. The risk is completely on the funding company, not you. That's the single biggest thing that separates this from a regular loan.
So if they aren't looking at your credit score, what are they looking at? Let's break down how a funding company actually decides whether to approve an advance and for how much.
Essentially, the funders are underwriting your lawsuit. They're looking at liability. Is it super clear who is at fault? They're looking at damages. Are your injuries and your costs well documented? And this one's critical. They look at insurance. Is there a policy on the other side with enough coverage to actually pay out a settlement? It is all about the facts of your case.
Because the whole approval process is based on the case itself, certain types of lawsuits are just more commonly funded. You see a lot of personal injury claims like car accidents or slip and falls because the liability and the damages are often a lot easier to document. So if your case falls into one of these buckets, this could be a real option for you.
Now, getting an advance is one thing, but using it strategically is a whole other ballgame. The goal here is to solve your short-term problem without creating a long-term one. And that means being really smart about how much you ask for.
This is such crucial advice. I mean, it's tempting to ask for the biggest amount you can possibly get, right? But you have to remember, the advance, plus its fees, gets paid back directly from your settlement money. Taking only what you absolutely need to get by is the most responsible way to protect your final payout.
This chart shows you exactly why that's so important. Imagine your final settlement is a big pie. When your case finally settles, that pie gets divided up. First, your attorney's fees and any medical bills get paid. Then, the lawsuit advance gets repaid. Whatever is left over, that's the slice you get to take home. So the smaller that advance repayment slice is, the bigger your net proceeds slice will be.
So the key takeaway is this. This tool is a bridge, not a lottery ticket.
It's meant to cover your essential needs, giving your lawyer the time they need to fight for the full value of your case.
Okay, so you've heard all this, and you've decided this might be right for you. What does the process actually look like? Well, the good news is it's designed to be pretty simple.
It really just boils down to these 4 steps. You apply, then the funding company calls your attorney to get the case file, they review everything, and if you're approved, you sign the agreement and the money is sent your way. Your attorney is involved every single step of the way, which is absolutely essential.
And hey, here's a little pro tip for you. The biggest thing that affects how fast this all happens is usually how quickly your lawyer's office can send over the necessary documents. Just giving your attorney a heads up that a request is coming their way can make a huge difference in the timeline.
And this brings us to our final thought. A lawsuit cash advance isn't just about paying bills. It's a strategic tool. By taking that financial pressure off the table, it gives you and your attorney the power to hold out for a fair settlement, instead of feeling forced to take the first low offer that comes along. So the real question to ask yourself is this: how much is that power worth to the final outcome of your case?